Trump, I think, he had identified, you know, we used to have people who were socially liberal but fiscally conservative. And people thought that was the sweet spot. Moderate Democrats, such as George Pataki, the governor of New York. And in a sense, Trump found that, in fact, the real sweet spot is to be fiscally liberal, but what one might call culturally conservative. You know, that in other words, it doesn't matter if outsourcing all your manufacturing to China seems like a great deal to the green eye shade guys in the accounts department, if the net result of that is that your town dies and the house you bought for $130,000, you can't move elsewhere wherever life has moved to, because you'll only get you know, $45,000 for your house now because the town has died. And I think that sweet spot there still works for him. The culturally conservative aspect, which is about manufacturing, immigration, those issues, basically still works for Trump.
You're sounding optimistic. Are the polls wrong?
Well, the polls are always wrong. I mean, Trump supposedly has a 16-point deficit with Joe Biden, thanks to Joe's, I mean, basically the COVID exists in America. It has to be kept going till November the 4th, because otherwise Joe Biden would have to get out of his basement and do a real campaign. So Joe Biden simply being a void keeps him stronger than he would otherwise be. But he's not 16 points ahead, because if he was, he'd be campaigning in Guam, because all 50 American states he'd have a lock on. I mean, 16 points would be the Nixon-McGovern blowout of 1972. You know from your own most recent general election that sometimes the poll fairy doesn't always deliver and doesn't leave the massive majority under the pillow of the liberal candidate, or in your case, the Labour candidate, bleating about climate change. The polls are wrong. In this instance, essentially, Trump has to overcome everybody. He has to overcome the media. He has to overcome ballot fraud. But Trump is a big guy, and Trump is talking about something that matters, and Biden isn't talking about anything.